that has taken a political turn, Poghisio, this is interesting that something that should be dealt with in a certain way appears to have taken a different tangent and regional, more political, even gender. What's your assessment of this? Is it the right way to have this discussion?
You know, I get worried, Fred, that what we are getting degenerating to as a country. Because I think when I read the newspaper and I see you hear a minister speaking for his community, you hear somebody else speaking for his community. I mean, we are degenerating to that. And I think it's about time that we started looking at serious things as serious things, national issues, national issues. I have no issue with what Mr. Gachagua was saying. My issue is, at what point did we realize that Mother Koome is a woman? When she was being appointed Chief Justice, we didn't know she was a woman then. Because I mean, if you bring that angle, you're making it look like women, you know, are the weak, very weak people that we should be always protecting or something like that. There is, the seriousness of this is true. There are ways to appoint somebody in government, and there are ways to remove somebody from government, from certain positions. And I think we should just look at that being what it is. If someone successfully petitions that Samuel Poghisio is going to be removed from government, petitions the normal way, and the process begins, I mean, I should be very careful. You should be very careful that you're not making it difficult for that person to go through a process. Mm-hmm. I mean, everyone has to go through. In fact, even the president. If these people now, these two people here decide in their house, the Senate, for example, they want to impeach the president, there is a process to remove the president. And that president does he become a Kalenjin that time? Does he become a Nandi that time? Does he become, or still the president of Kenya going through a process? And I think the way that I want this to be seen is that the process of appointing Mother Koome as a Chief Justice of this country was meritocracy. I hope so. I hope it wasn't because she came from Meru or it's because she's a woman. I want to believe that it was on merit, right? So when somebody decides, or a group decides that they're going to petition for her removal, why do we conclude that she's being removed? Mm-hmm. How do we conclude that? I mean, are we already in the hearts of the judicial service people that we know she will be removed? No. There is a process, and she might come out clean out of that process, mm-hmm. and actually remain as a very clean person, having been weighed, judged, I mean, those kind of things. So I do believe that we trivialize so many things in this country. It's about time that even the President Ruto, needs to start addressing these issues. When people come to say, I am standing for my own people, my region, my this and that, even his ministers, by the way, and you can hear that. At what time did we get cabinet secretaries beginning to be the ones speaking for their region? I mean, we have issues in this country that need to be addressed, and the seriousness of it is that we are trivializing, making Kenya look like we are enclaves of tribal. Okay.
Senator Nyoto, do you agree that we are trivializing national discussions, an issue that whose process is already set out, and we could wait for its logical conclusion, but we've decided to take different tangents on the same?
Thank you, but just allow me before that, because my colleague said that I was contradicting myself. I want to prove that she's the one contradicting herself, Fred, because people are watching. I'm elected by the people of Murang'a, and they could certainly not have elected somebody that contradicts themselves. Okay. I mean, what I said was that...
I'm equally from Murang'a County, so...
I hope she will have the decorum. When she talked, I didn't talk. Yes. So, I mean, Fred, I said, you remember we were talking about, when I said that the president does not listen to professionals, then she said, and when, I asked, who is the very first person, because she said that the president does not do the primary, doesn't have the primary responsibility in ministry. Then I asked, who is normally the first person to talk about, whom did you hear from about SHA? Whom did you hear from about higher education, I mean new funding model? And then she said, in a rejoinder, that the president has to talk about it because he is passionate about his manifesto. So then I said, now, I mean, in this particular one that she was refuting, I said, if she thinks that the president should be the first one to speak, according to her earlier argument, then why is he not speaking about the situation that we have with Rufa? But having said that, now to address your question, Fred, it is unfortunate that sometimes, important debates take, tribal angles. But then you cannot avoid this, depending on how this country is being run. This government, Kenya Kwanza government, is targeting